Back at Queensborough Community College for another Tiger basketball game. I'm Joe Massey along with Sean Couch. And tonight it will be the Queensborough Tigers against the Hostos Caimans. Well, Queensborough comes in 3-4. Hostos at 4-2. So you want to make up a little space on that second place Hostos. The first place team is Bronx Community College. According to what I hear, we're going to see them in a little bit. People can't touch Bronx right now. So, you got to do the next best thing. You got to get in position to pick them off.
You have a team right here, Hostos, who is looking to get better. They have a stellar play in Charles Jackson, a solid one in Brandon Stoltz. Good scorers. Charles Jackson had 34 points against Suffolk a couple of days ago. So, I'm looking for an exciting back-and-forth game this afternoon.
And the opening possession goes to Queensborough in the white home uniforms, and here they come, and there's a miss right off the bat on the jumper by Jason Lawrence, who we spoke about. And so, no score, early going. Drive down the right of the lane by Jeremiah Brown gets Hostos on the board first, 2-0.
Speaking of Jody King, he felt that he could exploit Tigers with their transition defense. They don't really get back as well as they could, so they're really going to look to push the tempo, Hostos.
Jody King, the head coach at Hostos. As they move it to front court, Jeremiah Brown has scored those opening points, gives it over to Brandon Stoll, and they score again. 5-0, Hostos on the board with a three-pointer there. There's Taekwon Washington, top of the key, goes down the left of the lane, dishes it over to Medard. Medard is going to take his first shot and miss it. Tyler Jenkins, who had a good second half, got the rebound, and he is starting for the Tigers tonight. Jenkins, Alan Smith are working that backcourt. Stephon Medard, Jason Lawrence, and Tyler Jenkins. They're going to turn over the ball, give it back to Hostos with a 5-0 Hostos advantage. So the Caimans will take it out of the backcourt, and here they come. Fling it on the right for Brandon Stoll. Come on the left to Brown. Brown cuts across the top of the key. Gives it over to Gary Anderson, and as Anderson starts his move, there was a hold on the play. A push, anyway, against Taekwon Washington, who picks up his first. 5-0 Hostos. They'll throw in from the far side. Stoll will put it in. He's looking to get it in. Finds his man, the ball carrier outside. Inside, loose ball picked off by Brian Morrison, and he jams it down, and it's 7-0. They didn't win, Sean, the whole national title. They had a very good team. They won the CUNY that year.
Right.
That started off for Robert Holford, who was the coach then, and a terrific coach. But then a couple of years later, they did win the national title.
Right.
And they had a whole different set of kids.
And Holford built the program. The program that you see Hostos now was built by Bob Holford.
That's right.
A legendary coach here in New York City.
Who went out to Jersey, and he was doing something last check we had, but don't know what he's doing right now. Here's Alan Smith on the right side. Out to Taekwon Washington. The timeout, Larry Danzler here at Queensborough trying to get something together. His team a little sluggish early on. Here's Jason Lawrence with the ball out to Alan Smith. They move the ball quickly this time, and Medard gets down to the baseline. Stephon Medard. He comes out of Francis Lewis High School. He got held on the play. Somebody grabbed him.
Really blossomed in his sophomore year. Has some schools looking at him on a Division II level. That's number 22, Medard.
He's been leading the Tigers in scoring, about 17 a game. Was out, came back against Kingsborough, made a big difference. There's a miss from outside, follow no, and then a tie-up for the loose ball. Jump ball will go to Hostos, again with the bright orange uniforms. They'll come out of the backcourt. Here is Morrison handling it. Giving it back, and Brown will move it across. He lost it in trying to transit it up. And coming up is Alan Smith on the break, but he can't get it to go. And Hostos comes down with a break of their own and pulling up at the foul line and popping one. Gary Anderson, no good. Rebound is snatched in as the big fella, Jenkins, went down to the baseline and held that ball. Is it over to Taekwon Washington. 17:20 to go. Tyquan Washington, sort of that classic little point guard as he brings it to the left of the lane, and someone reached in and tried to strip the ball away and committed the foul.
Foul is on number 13, Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson gets his first.
Personal foul, team's second foul.
Tyquan is no more than about 5'8" or so, 5'9", and he plays that, I said, that classic point guard. As Medard goes in the lane with a little right-hand floater, no good, rebound off to the baseline. What I mean by classic, they crouch down, they make themselves smaller, and it's really tough to get a bead on them. Comes outside to Brown. Brown delivers it way out for Anderson with the three-point shot. No good, and the rebound grabbed off by the Tigers. Get it in the corner. Here's the jumper, Tyquan Washington, and he can stick that jumper. He can stick that jumper when you leave him open, and he hit that one 7-3 to get Queensborough on the board. He's a Brooklyn kid. Hostos on the right side with Stahl, handling it outside. Comes between the circles with it. Looking around, looking for help as Medard plays him closely. 18 to shoot, drives right down there, goes in the lane, tries to hand it off. It got bobbled and out of bounds. Morrison couldn't take it in there, shot.
It's a big test here for Queensborough. Larry Danson, his third year now, has the players that he's recruited. You know, it takes a little while to get the players that you want, and this is a team now that reflects his recruiting, and you can see the improvement in their record at 3-4 in the conference.
Larry Danzler came over from the borough of Manhattan Community College where he was an assistant. Here's the couple of moves by Medard, and he gets it to go off glass. So Stephon Medard, his first field goal, and he was the star of the early going. He had 20 points in the first half against Kingsborough. Now he gets on the board here, 7-5. They put more pressure on Queensborough, and then a little floating jumper by Charles Jackson went up on the board and didn't go down. Came off. Queensborough grabbed it, then Hostos snatched it back. We have a foul inside. Good work by Jeremiah Brown there.
Number 33, Tyler Jenkins.
And the foul is on Jenkins.
Team's second foul.
7-5. Hostos, by the way, played at home in their last contest. First one registered there by Jeremiah Brown against the Borough of Manhattan College. They lost that ball game. It's now 8-5 Hostos. So there's a lot of positioning up for grabs behind Bronx. There are teams that are knocking each other off. Here's the second. It's good. Lots of competition to play in the final, which will be held here at Queensborough with the women's final. They host the tournament this year, the final anyway. Here's the drive in the lane by Alan Smith. His pass deflected, but it came off to Tyquan Washington for the Tigers. Well, anyway, Dantzler came over here from BMCC where he coached with Tony Davis, and it was just after longtime coach Eugene Carroll had to step down for health reasons, and he was still an assistant, Eugene, over there. So they were on that staff that won the last BMCC CUNY title, and he knows his basketball, Dantzler. When you're around people like Gene Carroll, you know your basketball. Here's a pass. That was deflected. They throw it up court. Here comes Hostos all the way. Tyquan Washington, he got fouled going to the bucket. 9-5 Hostos. Now these coaches have all taken over for the former coach here, Tom Sinnickson, who had stockpiled some pretty good teams in the past. And again, the Tigers are trying to feel their way back to prominence, and they have a little better team right now. Here's Tyquan Washington, right side, 14:45 to go. Pass in the lane to Jenkins. Jenkins to Medard. Medard to the left of the lane, 18 to shoot. Queensborough will wind it up again. Give it over to Washington, let him try to do something, and then his pass was up high, and backing up was Stoll to take it right out of his hands. Stoll all the way to the bucket with the whirl-a-roo, and he got fouled. He did a complete turn in that lane.
That's his first personal foul. It's the team's third foul.
They called Alan Smith on the foul.
Shooting 2 is number 21, Brandon
It's good
Stoll.
offense in transition, Brandon Stoll's for your younger viewers out there, he chopped his feet at the foul line and then stepped really hard and got his head around Joe with a nice high spin without walking.
Nice looking player.
Yeah, Joe, he came to a complete jump shot with his shoulder square off the spin. Excellent, executed perfectly.
Nice looking player he is. Try his second right here. And it's good. Both of them are good. 11 to 5 on the 2 free throws. Hostos has the lead. Queensborough trying to get it down to the baseline. We have the ball deflected out of bounds. Queensborough will throw in from underneath.
That foul is on number 34.
And the foul is going to be registered on Wendell Appleton. And they get it in to Tyler Jenkins. He got downstairs, took the ball, put it in. Good inbound, good move there by Jenkins to get free. Queensborough moves within 4. Hostos working it around. Here is Appleton, top of the key. Traveling call will be signaled.
Possession, Queensborough.
So Appleton had the ball go over to Queensborough as he turned it over. And here they come out of the backcourt. Handling the ball, of course, will be the guard, Tyquan Washington. They come up. Washington looking, poising with the dribble. Takes it around to the right, trying to go down low for the big guy. Does get it to him. There's the miss, but he stays in for the putback, Jenkins, and it got fouled. Good work again by Queensborough, setting it up down there.
I think the Tigers have something down low in Tyler Jenkins. He posts well, squares his shoulders well, and even though he doesn't elevate, Joe, he really clears space with his upper body and could be a problem for Hostos down low.
Here is Jenkins to the free throw line. Second foul was whistled there on Appleton. 2 quick fouls. First is good by Big Jenkins to give him 3 in the game. Now Queensborough within 11 to 8. We were watching that fella before Stoll, and he reminded me of a player, but he has more size than him, and it was a 1,000-point scorer at CCNY, James Bodie. But this guy has more size. But he played that type of game, the way Stoll plays.
Stoll's number 21 for Hostos is the glue guy. When they were playing the Bronx, their main man, Charlie Jackson, who averages over 20 points a game, had a terrible game, and Stoll's kept them in that game with his play.
Jenkins hit both free throws, makes it 11 to 9. Going back to my point about Bodie, though, nice player, right? We watched him. He's a nice player. I didn't realize he was a 1,000-point scorer. He did a lot at City College. And this guy, Stoles, as you said, he'll sneak up on you. Comes over on the right as they work it. Hostos, 13:21 to go in the first half. They give it over to Stoll. Stoll at the right of the key. A fallback jumper high on the board's going to drop, but it hit the top and it got to the clock. So they say no basket. That one, because it hit the clock, one out of bounds technically. And here's Medard to put it in for Queensborough. They can now arc themselves up into a tie. Here is Washington handling, giving over to Medard. Medard coming up on the 13-minute mark, starts to drive, backs off, as playing him tightly was Hodge, who's in the game. Maverick Hodge, that's a good first name. Outside with the basketball, Medard. Medard starts to the left, got cut off, and he pushed off to try to make room. In fact, it wasn't him, it was Tyler Jenkins, and he can do some pushing, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler has 2 fouls. That's not very good for the Tigers right there. They need him and his big body in the game.
Let's see if they remove him now. Danzer's going to have to get him out of the game. And that brings in Devin Minor. A little more lively body, but certainly not as big as Jenkins. 11 to 9. Hostos will come out of the backcourt. Joe Massey, Sean Couch from Queensborough. 12:47 to go first half. Gary Anderson with the ball for Hostos in the orange. Gives over to Maverick Hodge, and holding him was Tyquan Washington as he made a move to the right. He'll get hit with his second foul.
Checking into the game for the Tigers, number 14.
Tigers will make another substitution, and they'll bring Anthony Brown into the game, number 14. We said Devin Minor in there. And here's Hostos with the inbound, up by 2. We have a low-scoring first half here in this contest. Given over to Brandon Stahl. Stahl between the circles to Jeremiah Brown. Pass got away in the corner. It'll be Queensborough ball. Queensborough's playing some tough defense right now, Sean.
It's a low-scoring game, 11-9. 6 turnovers for Hostos. These are his guys right here. And, you know, Larry had a tough year last year.
Sure.
You know,
he's had actually a tough 2 years. But the first time he got his team another round in the community tournament tournament at the end of the year, and he gave a scare at least. But yeah, right. Last year I thought he expected a little more, didn't get it. Comes back this year, and you got to stay tough. Alan Smith with the ball over to Medard, and there's one reason why he has a better club. That wasn't Medard. That was Ajubedi who had come in the game.
Foul zone number 23.
They're going to call him for a foul, by the way. 11-9. Ajubeli, a first-season guard forward out of Brentwood. Fololua Ajubeli. And now it's Hostos with the ball. So Ajubeli on that foul. They give it over to Hostos. They move it out at the top of the key to Kadisha, who's checked in for his first time. Sonny Kadisha. Working on the left to Gary Anderson. Anderson all the way to the baseline. Nice left-hand switch, but he couldn't get it to go. He made the move, just couldn't get it to drop in the bucket. Queensborough still down by 2. 11:45 to go first half. Setting up for the 3 and well off are the Queensborough Tigers. That was Anthony Brown. No go. And Hostos comes back, and they got 2 and a foul.
Basket is good, number 21.
It was that guy against Stoll.
Strong, aggressive drive to his left. The left-handed Stoll gets a step on his defender and finishes high off the glass.
I don't want to push the point, Sean, but did you see that boat? That was a Bodie move right there that he made. I remember, because you know why I'm sticking on this, because I remember the first game you and I did on this QPTV was CCNY against York, and we were both commenting because CCNY wasn't as good a team at that point. That free throw is missed, by the way. 13-9. They weren't as good a team, CCNY. They lost Dana Warner and Ed Caceres. I mean, these guys were great players. And all they had was a Bodie. But he turned into a terrific player for them. And that ball's knocked out of bounds right there.
You got to remember, Dana Warner was a D1 transfer coming into the conference.
That's right.
And he took that team to championship.
Slippery Rock Community College he played
Yeah,
at.
just a strong player.
And it was a storybook year for CCNY because they were doing the story about Ed Warner, his father, all year, you remember. They work it around to the left corner. Now they pass it down low. Beautiful pass, but no basket as Brown took it from Anderson and Hostos. Unfortunate. They just haven't had that ball drop in the basket. Beautiful plays the last 2 trips. But Queensborough's still down by 4. They have the ball. 10:58 to go. They are in the middle circles, and now pulling up for the jumper and hitting it was Alan Smith, and he knocked it in. 13-11. Tigers trying to stay tenacious here. 10:44 to go in the first half from Queensborough. Working on the left wing to Maverick Hodge. Come out on the deeper wing to Jackson. He's working out of the corner now and does a good job to draw the foul. And he got hit going up with the shot. Ajubeli was trying to defend him. He threw his body into him.
Foul zone number 23.
He looks a little facially like the fellow we saw last night playing for Medgar Evers, the big kid. Go to the free throw line here. Will Charles Jackson. That was Jackson making that move, and the free throw is good. 14-11. Second is no good. 14-11, Tigers with the ball, 10:28 to go. Tigers have it out towards the midcourt line. Smith trying to open it up, goes quickly in. They dish it out. They dish it in. That was beautiful. That was textbook stuff right there. And Ajubeli got the basket.
Nice spread offense there, 4 in, 1 out. Good ball movement. Strong execution on the layup.
Brown with the ball, traveling on Hostos. They're going to turn it over.
Tigers basketball.
You know, after the Lady Tigers get through, people are a little absorbed, and the men Tigers have to get them into it. You know what I mean? Here on this court. And they're trying to do that right now. 14-13. Right side, Smith. They're down by 1. They give it in the middle to Vincent Guerrero. No, that is Anthony Brown still playing with Smith in the backcourt. Here is Smith holding, setting it up on the left. Out on the wing, Jason Lawrence, the Queensborough transfer. He gets in the lane and finds his man. Good recognition. He was fronted. He got it to Minor for the 2, and we have the first Queensborough lead. 15-14.
Tigers showing good execution with their interior passing and being patient on offense and not forcing up bad shots.
Coming to the middle is Brown all the way through. Knocks over the Queensborough player. Offensive foul on Jeremiah Brown of Hostos, and this game has swung now dramatically.
Yeah, you can see Queensborough growing up right before our eyes as a unit. Last year, Joe, those two sequences would not have happened.
But I got to be honest with you, right between our eyes, too, because we didn't expect that.
You know, that passing and that execution would not have happened last year.
That is right. Alan Smith with the ball. Comes between the circles, sends it in the corner. Stephon Medard's back in. Here's a pop shot from the left of the key. No good. 15-14. They have the lead, but Hostos has the ball. And here is Maverick Hodge all the way through. Medard got a piece of that from behind, but then a good play by Brian Morrison, who rushed in to save the play. And he's going to end up getting a foul call on Queensborough that's going to put Queensborough over the limit. If it wasn't in the shooting vein, he's going to get 2. They're going to give him 2. Ryan Morrison trying to tie it up now. This is his first trip to the line. He has 2 points. Ames, shoots, no good. Tigers stay on the court with Anthony Brown. Stephon Medard has checked back in, as we said. Devin Minor, who came in for Tyler Jenkins. They have Anthony Lawrence still out there and Alan Smith. And, of course, Jenkins got the 2 fouls, so he had to be lifted from the game by Danzler. Second one, no good, and then a poor pass out to midcourt, and it's stolen by Hodge, and then Hostos turns it into 2 to get the lead back.
Nice layup by Maverick. Gompers High School graduate. Comes in for energy. Good-looking guard.
It's a storied high school name, by the way.
No doubt. Going to be a very good guard in this conference.
Left of the key, Alan Smith, 8:25 to go. They work it out on the wing to Brown. Brown hands it in the corner. Actually handed that ball in the corner to Minor, who squares up and knocks it in from the corner. He's got 4 points, and Queensborough gets the lead back. Good game right now. 8:10 to go. Hostos with the ball. Stutter move by Anderson. Anderson sends it in the corner to Hodge. Hodge with a dodge. Gets it outside to Yusuf, who's in the game for his first time, Khalid Yusuf. And Hostos tries to open it up a little wider as Queensborough's really playing a tough man-to-man right now. 6 seconds to shoot. And the little drop-off pass for the 8-foot jump, that won't go from Morrison. They got a good shot. Couldn't get it, and then they get back in the play and steal the ball in the person of Anderson for Hostos. Tough lead up court, and Anderson got back, scooped it up, 7:28 to go. They're still down by 1. They go on the wing to Hodge. In the middle to Jackson. On the right corner, that's good, and a foul by Gary Anderson. Score the goal there, and he got hit.
Got the 3-ball going in the corner, going for the 4-point play. Real bad closeout there by Anthony Brown. Didn't chop his feet.
And he committed the foul. So Anderson has a chance for a 4-point play. Gotta love that. If you're Hostos, they were down by 1. They can end up going up here by 2 on the free throw by Anderson. 19-17. Delivers it. And no good. And Queensborough went up high to get that rebound on the person of Lawrence. All right, it'll be Queensborough ball as the damage was a three-pointer on that. Lawrence has it left of the key, starts a move, stops a move, and then got caught between moves and shuffled the feet.
Traveling violation.
Past 4 possessions show Tigers have come down and turned the ball over after having a good 6-0 swing. They're not putting it together right now.
Let me tell you, Larry Danzler was on top of that one. He is barking something to them because he realizes exactly what you do as a former coach. You got to take advantage, fellas. It goes inside, and here's Morrison for the jammeroo, and it's 21-17.
Assist by Gary Anderson.
Nice assist.
Going right, drawing the D and dropping it off.
6:40 to go. Now it's a 4-point Hostos lead. Medard tries to answer, but that ball just jumped off the back rim, and it would not fall for Stephon Medard. Now they come the other way again. The Tigers on the transition, trying to cut into that 4-point lead. Medard, by the way, has 2 points in the ball game. And maybe they would like to get him more involved. He's on the right wing now as the ball's being handled on the left. They switch it out to the wing. Then coming on the drive, on a tough drive and banking it in. That was a nice move going all the way down to the right side by Kamal Green. So it's 21-19. Green with his first appearance in the game, number 20. Hostos working out high. They get the ball over to Jackson. Jackson, fall away. Nice one. Floated it in. Jackson with his first field goal for 3. Hit a foul shot. Hostos goes up by 4, the Caimans.
Yeah, 35. Jackson has a lot of offensive skill. He has skill sets. Hasn't shown it yet.
It's amazing. He looks like a smaller Winston Douglas. Here's
Yeah,
a drive all the way to the baseline and through is Maverick Hodge.
Hodge finishing, but that came from Jackson there, ripping it off the glass and starting that break. Nice low, no-look pass.
That's why I
to the
said
right.
that, Chuck, because he got up. He elevated and grabbed that ball on that rebound and then started the break, like you said. 25-19, 4:55 to go. Medard to the right side. Queensborough now down by 6. So this has happened over the space of a couple of minutes. Medard looking for help. Dumps it down low. And in a lot of trouble down there are the Tigers, and they're going to lose the ball.
Hostos is tightening up their defense, and Tigers right now are not looking good. Before, Joe, they were making very good decisions down low, and spacing was better. And right now they're all bunched together.
And they're trying
no
to force
continuity.
things.
Yeah, no continuity right now.
All right. Timeout briefly. 4:33 first half. See if the Tigers can pick it up again. They had the lead for a brief period there, very brief. And Hostos has cranked it up again. Here's Gary Anderson. Anderson across the midcourt line, down on the 4:25 mark. They work it head of the key. Holding the ball, Jackson. Jackson wings it left to Anderson, who makes the move, had the move made, but couldn't deposit it in the basket and missed. They grab it back, though. Hostos get it underneath, and going up was Jackson, and he could not jimmy jam that, but he did get fouled, and he will head for the line. Charles Jackson, Devon Green got called for the foul. He is a smooth, fluid athlete, is Charles Jackson, and he will end up there. 25-19. First free throw, good. Jackson will try another. He is up and good. Trying to locate his high school, but I think you said, is he the one from Gompers? We'll get that for you. 27-19. They come up to the left side, Queensborough. Green dribbling outside. They've gone some time now without putting anything together offensively, the Tigers, and they're scrambling, as you see. They get it inside for the little right-hand hook, and that's going to fall in the bucket.
Nice
and that was Jamal Green. Go ahead.
Nice energy off the bench, Kamal Green. coming in and getting some good interior offense going.
Oh, that was Brian Morrison answering back on the stuffed putback, 29-21.
Got to box him out.
And if you don't, that's what's going to happen.
There you go. Kamal is, guarding him, and it has to do it on both sides of the floor.
Head of the key. That is a 3, I believe, by Henry Birch. No, a 2. He was just over the line when he delivered it, 29-23. But Birch puts it out, his first time in the game. And coming down now, this game's opened up a little bit. Hostos, Gary Anderson, returning the favor, and he draws the foul down here. Birch is from Queens Academy in his first season here. Charles Jackson, by the way, is from Walton High School in the Bronx, New York.
Anderson really controlling the tempo, challenging this Tigers team to keep him out the paint, and so far they haven't done it.
Here's Gary Anderson, and no good on his first free throw. It's off the front rim. 29-23. Hostos holds the lead, 2:57 to go. Not too long ago, the Tigers had popped into a 15-14 lead, but they could not sustain it. Here's the second, no good. Anderson missed both. He's free throwless on the hit tonight. Not on the hit on the free throws. He's 0 for 3. 29-23. Now they work it in between the rings and down towards the lane and try to get it out to Medard for a Hostos, but it's stolen away. Snatching in there was Hodge. Maverick Hodge all the way down, tries to deliver the ball, but off course. And his receiver never got to it, and the Tigers did not touch it, so, Sean, they have the ball back.
Maverick Hodge is doing a good job on Stephon Medard. Medard only with 2 points. The long Hodge is really doing a nice job denying him the ball, and when he gets it, he's angling him to the corner, keeping him out the lane.
Let's watch that. 30 seconds to shoot, 2:27 to go in the first half. Lawrence left side for the Tigers. They're a little befuddled right now. Lawrence backing in, angling in a little bit at a time. Stops, fall away, no. Rebound tip, no. Is going up to try to tip it home was Henry Birch. And he got a hand on the ball, couldn't guide it in. Then Hostos charges back. They can't get it to go in the 29-23 game, and they lose the ball out of bounds trying to get to the rebound. Morrison was in there with his size. It'll go over to Queensborough. So fortunate state of affairs for the Tigers. They have not played well, but they're only down by 6 here. Here comes Birch. Birch down the middle, minute 58 to halftime. First half here at Queensborough. Birch, spinorama, goes in there, and someone is able to hit him on the shoulder but not get the ball, and he'll go to the line, or no, he won't. That's only 16 fouls, and they say not in the act.
No, that was a jump ball call there.
Jump ball? Jump ball? Tigers get it. All right, jump ball call, and the Tigers bring it out. Alan Smith, still down by 6. 15 to shoot, minute 43 and a half. Lawrence, turn, looks for room, banks it in. Nice move by Lawrence. Used his bit of size and ingenuity, 29-25.
4 points for Lawrence in the game, 4 rebounds. Just doing a nice job being an anchor in the middle.
Big
for the
bucket.
Tigers.
Big bucket for the Tigers. Charles Jackson tries to measure a 3, but that won't go. He missed it. And the Tigers are down by 4, minute 13 to go. Lawrence to the lane again, but this time he has to pass it out to Smith. Then the ball comes free, and it's scooped up off the floor by Hodge. Hodge trying to get up there before the defense, can't put it in. And then Morrison picks it off, and he got pushed from behind. It is a Queensborough foul, which will send Morrison to the line. Second foul on Alan Smith. Tigers are down by 4. Tigers could have closed within 2. They're getting so close, but they're missing on their opportunities, and that, I'm sure, doesn't sit well with Larry Danzler. He's in a sitting position, but he does not look happy right now. First one, good. 29-20, make it 30-25 on that free throw. Hostos goes up by 5. The Caimans of Hostos from the Bronx. Second is good. 31-25. Now they've increased the lead to 6. So the Tigers had a chance to knock it down to 2. Now it's at 6. Here comes Alan Smith. 56 seconds to go in the first half. Allen gets across the midcourt line, immediately surveying the situation, looking for someone to come free. He's holding that ball out there. They're trying to spread it out, look for an ISO. They give it into the hands of Birch. A lot of movement on the baseline. Birch finally finds Medard, who did pop free, but then Medard started to drive, and Hodge jutted in there, and as Sean mentioned earlier, he's played him very well. He knocked the ball off of Medard. Hodge giving him trouble with that angular physique of his.
Long arms and good anticipation on defense and challenging every move and shot that Stephon is making.
31-25. It is a 6-point affair for Hostos, and we're 33 seconds to the half. Shot clock is off, so you expect Hostos to try to use this clock and work for something really good. And it comes into Hodge with the 4 points. Puts it in the hands of Anderson immediately. Anderson will start to work it across and get them into their flow. Out to Jackson, Charles Jackson, who is their second leading scorer first half. Morrison actually leads the scoring, and they work down low to Stoll, who came free. Well, that's what they wanted, and they get an 8-point lead coming towards halftime. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Medard trying to rush it. Fall away is no good. So the Tigers remain down by 8 to go to halftime behind Hostos in this ball game. And they made a rush at Hostos. And then Hostos righted the ship again, and they took control of the tail end of that first half. And they look to this point like they have things in control. But there's a whole half of basketball to go. And the Tigers have to be fortunate they're only down by 8 points.
No, absolutely. After starting out well, and Joe, you mentioned up 15-14 with about 9 minutes to go, they only put 11 points on the board, while Hostos went on a run where they had about 20 points. So it's actually 18 points. So you see the difference, Joe. Their execution was better, and also they found their players inside a little bit better than Queensborough did.
All right, better execution is stating it very well, Sean. And the fact that the Tigers themselves, on their end, haven't been able to sustain that type of execution. That adds to that 8-point difference that we have right now. And we'll see you in the second half. Joe Massey, Sean Couch. We're coming to you from Queensborough. And we're back here at Queensborough Community College. Joe Massey, Sean Couch, where Queensborough's trailing Hostos Community 33-25 at the half. It's set for a second half of basketball. As Sean stated before we left you, before the half set in, Queensborough did battle back and edged themselves into a 15-14 lead in that first half, but then the rest of the half did not bode well for them.
No, not at all. They just shut down offensively. Didn't really move the ball or get it inside. And I think what hurt them was the fact that Tyler Jenkins was on the bench. He's that anchor down low, and he gives them that, dump down that they needed. And without that, everything got tight for them.
Well, he's in there now to start the second half. Number 33 has 2 fouls. And then the Tigers did struggle for points. Here's Hostos with the first possession of the half, and that was Morrison getting blocked by Jason Lawrence, who came in on the play, and he was able to get a piece of his shot. And here are the Tigers with it. This is Jason Lawrence into the lane, dumps it out to Alan Smith. Alan Smith, Taekwon Washington of the backcourt. Stephon Medard, who was held down by the Hostos Caimans, misses there on his drive. Medard only 2 points in the first half. But Medard not able to convert, and the Hostos Caimans come right back to extend their lead to 10.
Jeremiah Brown, that's his 9th point of the game.
9 points for Jeremiah. 7 for Brian Morrison, 6 for Brandon Stoltz.
Balanced scoring for them. Gary Anderson with 7, Stoltz 8,
Fouls on
Jackson
number
with
11,
5,
Jason
Maverick
Lawrence.
Hodge 4, and Jeremiah with 7.
Personal foul.
What did you have for Jackson, Sean? 5?
5 points.
Okay, now we're up to date. On the Queensborough side, they got 4 from Jason Lawrence, 4 from Devin Minor, and they just turned the ball over again. They're down by 10.
It's 10 turnovers. Actually, see, that's 9 turnovers for Queensborough.
There's Brandon Stoltz on the right wing. I believe he's from Truman High School. And there's Charles Jackson, and he collides with one of the Queensborough Tigers, takes the hit, and gets the foul.
Yeah, Joe, but before that, Charles with the killer cross
Fouls
on
on number 34.
Jason Lawrence right there to get in the lane.
And I'll go to the line. The first foul on Jason Lawrence,
Number 33,
who Larry Dantzler brings over to
personal foul.
accentuate the fact that he did get crossed on that. First one is good.
Jackson is at the line.
36-25. Now they've built an 11-point lead, Hostos. And number 33 will check out very quickly, Tyler Jenkins, and he will be replaced by Ajibelli again, who comes off the bench.
And that's going to hurt them, their interior defense and offense. Tyler is very important. And when you can't contain ball handlers outside, that's what happens, Joe.
Jackson hit both. 12-point advantage for Hostos. Tigers are in a bit of trouble here. Here's Medard from outside with the air ball, overshot the basket, and then trying to keep his balance on the end line was Jeremiah Brown to get it up court, and he fell over the end line. Couldn't do it. So a break for the Tigers, and boy, do they need one. They're down by 12 right now off that air ball there by Medard. Comes into Lawrence. Lawrence right side tries to even up himself to the basket. Couldn't get it to the basket. They're shooting air balls now. Anderson took it off. They carried all the way through with Morrison, but he traveled. And another break for the Tigers because they certainly aren't making any of their own breaks right now.
When they were successful, they had Tyler Jenkins down low and Jason Lawrence catching at the elbow and either looking to score from the shorter game or looking inside for the dump down. But right now they're struggling for points, just relying on dribble drive basketball, and that's what's happening right there. You see it there.
Yeah, Ajibelli got shut off by that Hostos defense sagging in on him. And here is a left side jumper that hits the side rim, and then the loose ball scooped in by Morrison on the rebound. He went underneath and grabbed it, couldn't left-hand hook it in, and it's going to stay with Hostos.
If you're going to rely on guys handling the ball and trying to get to the rim, then they're going to have to create space for themselves, and they're not doing a good job against this Hostos team, which is long and lanky.
Stoltz from the corner, no, but following it out on the rebound is Anderson, and Gary Anderson is able to catch the ball and brings it back to Jeremiah Brown. Now they're looking in low. There's Jackson with the fall away, and that was a tough fall away. Couldn't hit it. Back comes Alan Smith trying to get the Tigers some gas to work with. Get the Tigers revved up a little bit. And he hit.
Allen with the Euro step move right around the Hostos defender, froze him.
37-27. Coming around now, taking the ball. Stoles. Jumper from the foul line. No good. Rebound is snatched in again by Morrison, but he stepped on the end line and trying to rearrange himself and get it back out. Morrison with Anderson, Stoles, and Charles Jackson, their best ball player. And then they have Jeremiah Brown for Hostos in the orange, and they're leading by 10. Medard from the left side. Got it. Medard's first outside hit of the ball game. It's a two-pointer. They would like to get him going. Again, we state that. 37-29. Comes middle of the circles now to Stoles. Stoles goes on the right with it. And a little bit of jockeying, and Anderson pushed off in making the move, and it got called for it. Anderson with his second foul, Gary Anderson. So a couple of breaks for the Tigers, and they got that jumper from Medard to pull within 8. See what they do here. Alan Smith with it. 16:37 to go. Smith directs it into the corner to Medard. Medard holding it away, dribbles, comes down towards the inside and got it blocked. He had it blocked, and they start on the break the other way. Gliding in towards the hoop was Brown. Brown trying to hold it till the last second, and did cause the Queensborough player to go down, and they are calling an offensive foul on that, I believe. Now, one said offensive, one said the other way.
That's a tough call there. It looks as if the player was standing there, but you know, it looked like Jeremiah Brown was jumping sideways, and it's hard to establish position when a guy's going sideways away from the defense. Interesting call here.
And it looked like Brown caused that to happen, so I think they're going to give him the benefit of the call because he held that ball back and forced contact. So he'll go to the line.
Right. Jeremiah is standing at the line saying, I know I'm shooting this one because this guy wasn't standing in front of me. He was on the side of me, and his body wasn't still. So I think that's a good call there by the referee.
Not anybody on the Queensborough side, including the fans, are happy about that one. Danzler pointing towards the situation again and trying to explain it to the official. Larry trying to arc out of this, but he's not going to do it, and we're going to see Jeremiah Brown go to the line with an 8-point Hostos lead. Now they're going to call the official over again, who was at the foul lane, and they're going to describe the play once more.
Yeah, they're making sure that he
will watch Jeremiah Brown go to the line. He has 9 points. Trying to build on an 8-point lead. No! And the crowd is happy because they didn't want that call to take place at all. So they were happy he missed that one. 37-29. Second. No good. Front rimmed it. Off the floor. Tigers snatch it in with Lawrence. Get it up court on a long float pass. Bat it around. Medard takes it off. Medard puts it up. No good. Rebound no good. As they hung in there with Ajibelli. He tapped it, but he couldn't get it on course. Blocked by Ajibelli. And he sends it into the corner on Stoles.
Boy, Ajibelli at 6'2".
Had it all.
Skying there and getting that out of there. Very nice block.
Most inspirational play of the night for the Tigers in this span here. Stoles with it. Stoles goes over on the right, lining it up, but off to the right a little bit with the jumper was Jeremiah Brown. Taking it back in as that man again, Charles Jackson, and he got fouled going underneath. He pops up at the most inopportune times with his athleticism. 37-29, so he'll go to the line. It's foul number 3, by the way, on Ajibelli there. And Jackson can't hit the first, and they're having free throw bugaboos right now, Sean.
Yeah, Hostos not executing here at the line, but they're starting to assert themselves on the offensive boards.
Jackson got that one. He has 8 points. 37-30. It's a 7-point Hostos lead. 15:52 to go. We have plenty to go in the second half. So the Tigers, although they're down by 9, need to put something together. And Taekwon Washington handles things for, get them off to a nice start. He has 5 points. 38-31 is actually the score now. 38-31. It's a 7-point game. Go over on the right to Stoles. Stoles trying to get into the lane of maneuver, and the ball ripped away, and Medard's going to feed it ahead to Washington. Washington on the break, but there was a whistle prior to his approach to the basket, and that is going to be a foul against Hostos back behind the play. So no bucket.
Oh, it's a technical foul on Brandon Stoltz. Felt that he was fouled there.
He didn't like it, and he voiced his disapproval, and the official signaled his disapproval. Here's Taekwon Washington shooting the tech. 38-31. Hostos has a 7-point lead. Taekwon trying to make that a little closer. He gets it. As we said, he came over from Queensborough and has been a stalwart for this team handling the ball. His second one is good. 38-33. So now Queensborough's within 5, and they get the ball on top of that because of the technical variety of that foul. And Medard will throw in from underneath the basket, actually off to the right on the baseline. Don't want to mishandle it here. They just got 2 points. Don't want to give it back. Give it in, and there's Alan Smith for another 2. Alan Smith has 6. And now they've moved within 3.
Yeah, Khalid Youssef, number 5 for Hostos, lost his man in the scramble.
Comes on the right to Brown, Jeremiah Brown, and the Tigers are in a zone right now trying to hem up the outside. Goes in the right corner. Youssef fires and got it. Youssef standing free, got the ball. They floated him the ball. It's 40-35. Lawrence trying to answer back, and he does. He's got 6. We're watching an entertaining game right now. It's 40-37, 14:40 to go. Joe Massey's Sean Couch here at Queensborough. An afternoon affair, and it's turning into a good one. They go on the right side. Hodge down the baseline for Jackson. Hung it short in traffic. Lawrence gives it off to Smith. Back to Lawrence, and did not get it to go properly. Here is Hodge. Maverick Hodge all the way through, and it gets it. So Hodge makes it again a 5-point advantage for Hostos Community College in the Bronx. Here's Medard taking it away, now firing. Hits. Stephon Medard makes it 42-39. He's heating up a little bit. He has 6 points now.
Rookie mistake there by Hodge, going for that steal. Medard just wants to catch and put it on the deck once or twice and pull. That's his game.
Youssef is the intensity picking up a little bit in the corner to Jackson. 3-point Hostos lead. Jackson splits through defenders, but then got caught on the backside as someone dropped in there and almost stole the ball, Ajabelli, but he couldn't control it, went off his hands and out of bounds. Good thought, though. He had cut off the middle on Jackson there. 12 seconds to shoot only for Hostos, though. That is the benefit for the Tigers. Down to 8-second shot clock. Looking at it is Hodge. Hodge sends it to the corner. Stoll. No, that wasn't Stolz. That was Brown. Jeremiah Brown couldn't hit it. And Queensborough ends up with the rebound. They're down by 3. Ajabelli. Foul. Down the left of the lane. He got down there in a hurry.
Belly has really changed the complex of this game for the Queensborough Tigers. In and out defensively, running the floor. Very athletic for a 6'3" player, Joe.
Sure is. Sure is. Ajabelli, Folu at the free throw line. Misses. First one that could have moved them to within 2. 42-39 is Queensborough down by the 3. Getting ready for a second. It is no good. And got the back of the rim and it popped out. It stays a 3-point game with 13 minutes to go. So they miss a golden opportunity to move within 1. Here's Youssef. Hostos around the perimeter, getting it inside. And Ajabelli caused a tie up there. Very strong.
Sonny Khadijah, number 24 for Hostos, turns. Thought he had space, but got shut down by Ajabelli.
I used to know a kid a while ago. As Ajabelli gets that ball outside and rescued it, gets it to the basket from Medard. Basket and a foul! Medard off the save by Ajabelli, and the Tigers can tie it now on the foul.
On the wing, below the foul line. Stephon Medard's like a shark. He smells blood, and when he has any sort of space, Joe, he's very effective. You have to stay in his grill, in his shirt, to stop him from scoring the basketball.
42-41, a tie game. Anyway, Sean, I was about to say, I used to know a kid a while ago. This game is tied up at 42.
Joe, you sounded like Rick Ross on that one.
42 all. I was going to say, Sean, I knew a kid a while ago named Charles Midland who had Ajabelli's type of approach. Nice, mild-mannered kid, get on the court and explode. Comes out on the right wing. All right, it's Hodge with the ball. Hodge puts it inside the foul line for a little pop shot. No good by Kadisha. Kadisha couldn't hit it. Then there's a loose ball scramble. And who is it going to end up with? It's going to be a foul on the Tigers on that.
Foul is on David Minor.
We're tied at 42. Who'd you say I sounded like?
Rick Ross, the rapper.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, can you explain that one?
No,
to me?
you went, huh. And that's like his trademark signature, little hook that he has, verbal hook.
I just want to know, will he lend me his money? First one missed by Jackson.
You might want to try to steal one of his chains. That might be about 20K, Joe.
Second one is good. Jackson hit 1 or 2 to put Hostos back in the lead between the comedy skit of Couch and Massey here. Comes on the left side. It is a very good ball game right now, Sean. Here's Medard. No. He gets in there, gets the rebound, and tosses it out. Now the Tigers working on it with a new shot clock. Washington into the lane. Leaner, no good. And then struggling for that rebound was Minor. And we had a whistle, and it's going to be a push-off. In fact, Sean, that first rebound, I don't think that was Medard. That was Minor,
That
right?
was Minor, but he has 4 fouls right now.
Well, he really was active down there, though, and he did pick up his 4th foul.
Yep, and Larry's going to leave him on in there. Minor's, that 8th, 9th guy.
Leave him in for effort.
Yeah,
43-42.
Get physical inside with Charles Jackson. See him on his side of the zone.
All right, Hodge got it down low, and they're hanging them short. Kadisha was expecting someone to cut in and hung it short. Here comes Medard. Medard to Washington. Got to knock that down. Can't do it. Pops out, and Hodge takes it off the floor. It's still a 1-point lead for Hostos. This game has really become a very entertaining one. Down the baseline now goes Jackson, and someone pawed at him and got him off course with a hold. That is going to be 16 fouls on Queensborough up on the board. I think 7 now. And that will put Jackson at the line.
And Queensborough Tigers in foul trouble right now. That's Ajubade's fourth too. So Minor and Ajibale with 4 fouls. They're both coming out. Big Tyler Jenkins back in. He has 3.
Okay, and we'll watch free throws being delivered here by Jackson. And first one is good.
You got to like Charles Jackson.
Do you have to pronounce it as Ajibade because it says Ajabelli here?
Ajabelli.
All right, we'll work it out one way or the other.
All right. Ajabelli, but you got to like Charles Jenkins. This is a kid who, really personifies Hostos. He has a tremendous skill set. Told you, coming off a 34-point game.
Right.
Very good off the triple threat. Can shoot it, pass it, dribble it.
Now you're talking about Jackson, right?
Yeah, talking about Jackson.
He's a good player.
I'm 35 for Hostos.
He made both free throws there, too, and makes it 45-42. I had to ask you because I was talking, and then you started making the point. And it's Jackson, and
there you go. And
he has given them a 3-point lead.
He's the sort of kid that can take this game over. And, if anyone has a chance against the Bronx, it's Hostos. And Jackson has to understand that if he's going to be the man, if he's going to be that guy, not saying that this game isn't important, but everything goes through the Bronx. He's going to have to really match that intensity.
Do it, Sean. I like that point. That was a good one. They try to dish it inside to Medard. Medard goes in there with a right-hander and got fouled. Stephon Medard had a very frustrating first half. He had Hodge all over him, and that time he drew the foul from Hodge, so he has come on. You got to give him credit, and his first free throw is good. You know, you like to see players do well like he did the other night, Medard, but when they have a tough time, you like to see them come on, too, and he has, and his second is good.
Absolutely. 11 points right now, 9 in the second half.
Yeah, 11 big ones. 45, 44, 9 of them are very big. 1-point game. Hostos leading, 10:46 to go. We're almost halfway through the second half. Joe Massey, Sean Count. A very good game here from Queensborough. They're out on the deep left wing with Hodge. Hodge sends it off right wing, firing and not able to come up with it. Gary Anderson, but they strip it back. Anderson back to the bucket, over the bucket for Jackson, who says, I'll do that. And that's what he does. 47-44.
Good sequence there by Maverick, the freshman from Gompers. Jenkins, Jackson elevating on that oop.
Went up and he slipped it down. 47-44, and we have a timeout. 10:17 to go in the basketball game.
What you think about the elevation, Joe, huh?
Well, it's pretty
quick?
good.
Pretty quick?
I mean, you know, I wish I could jump like that. I wish I could sit up like that. 47-44. No, he's good, that kid.
Yes, he is.
You
know, thinking about Queensborough now, this is where the tournament's going to be held. The 2012 conference championships will be here, so essentially it's going to be on their home floor. So
that's right.
Natural advantage for them going into it.
And I want to tell you, we'd also like to thank a young veteran, David Russell, for helping us out as we come in here today, and he gives us these little vital stats that we need. Here's Stephon Medard firing from the left corner, and that was off that time. Medard took the jumper, couldn't hit it, and now with Queensborough down by 3, they have to dig in on the defensive end. We're up on the 10-minute mark. Little turnaround on the lane. They placed that well for Morrison, who hits points 8 and 9 with that little turnaround. So give credit to Hostos, too. Every time they've been pushed, they find the proper spacing, they make the play. And they're up again by 5. And that was almost a steal by Morrison, who's been very impressive today. Morrison knocked it away out of bounds. We were extolling the virtues of Jackson, and Morrison says, don't forget me, because he's played a good game, Sean. Comes in. Lawrence on the left wing. Lawrence puts it into the middle circles for Washington for Queensborough. They have 13 to shoot. Come on the right to Jason Lawrence. Lawrence dribbling, measuring. Can't find an avenue to attack. Then creates the foul opportunity. Jeremiah Brown couldn't get out of his way, and he put his body into him and bought that foul right there. And that was actually Alan Smith, not number 11.
Tigers very fortunate there. Clock running down. One-on-one, you know.
Alan Smith.
But he still made it happen.
First free throw, good. That's called buying yourself a foul. 49-45. Alan Smith, 7 points. He's played a role trying to get his second. It is up. It is no good. He made 1 of 2. The rebound goes off into the corner where it's snatched in by Jackson, and then he gives it off to Gary Anderson. They get it to front court for Hostos. Got to play this a minute at a time now. It's a 4-point Hostos lead. Come out on the wing. Hodge can't hit, but Maverick goes out and gets it, Maverick Hodge, and he is going to control it again. They go in the pinch post, and then the ball is thrown away as a no-look pass from Morrison was misdirected, and here is Medard the other way for the Tigers, again down by 4. 49-45. I'll mark that down with 8:43 to go. On the wing to Medard. He's deep outside. He's a little deeper. Comes around. Somebody got hit with a moving screen, and it's going to be a Tiger violation. Making room was Kamal Green. The only thing is he made a little too much room. 49-45. And the ball will go over to Hostos. Right now, they're calling number 10, Maverick Hodge, over towards the bench for Hostos. They want to make something apparent to him as the drive into the lane with the lane open. Jeremiah Brown has now given them a 6-point lead.
Man, impressive slash to the basket there. Looked a little bit like Kobe Bryant hanging.
Did. 51-45. 6-point Hostos Lee, there's some really good athletes on this club. We saw Queensborough. We always state they have great athletes. This team, not bad either. Here's Medard from the left side. Can't get it. Suddenly now the bottom has fallen out a bit on the Tigers again. They're down by 6. And all the way inside and dishing it off was Brown. And he made another good pass off a move. And Jackson got the foul there. So another flurry by Hostos. And they have reestablished a position of dominance here. And they're leading at 41-45 and 51-45. And Jackson going to the line. First one is good. According to what I have, he hasn't done badly from the line either. 52-45. What do you have Jackson for in terms of points? I have him near 14. Let's see what Sean comes up with.
I have him right now from the line, Joe. He's 4, 6, 8 for 10, 8 for 11.
Very good.
7 for 11, 7 for 10 from the line. 53-47 as Queensborough trying to stay close. They're within 5. Hostos moves it around on the right. This is Brown. Got him with 11 points.
11 for Jackson. Jackson, make that 13 now. he chimed in very quickly. 55-47, 13 for Jackson.
It's a real quick move right there. That
really was.
That was the best move of the day in terms of skill.
8-point lead for Hostos. Lawrence from the right side. That was too hard. And again, Queensborough having it slip away a bit as all the way through goes Gary Anderson, and there will be another foul call. And they're compiling fouls, they are. So we'll see Anderson go there. He's got 3 points.
It's Alan Smith, number 1, his 3rd personal.
Jackson has 13. It might be close to 14. We'll go with 13. Morrison I have for 9. Brown has 11. Stoles has 8. And Hodge has 6. And this is Anderson at the line. He made a big 3-point shot before. He's been without a hit at the line. He's been there 3 times, and he doesn't get one there. And on the Queensborough side, we have Stephon Medard with 11. We have Jason Lawrence with 6. We have Taekwon Washington with 7 and Alan Smith with 7. And right now, they're looking for something. They're 8 points down, and I hope he misses this free throw number 2, but he rolls it in, does Anderson. Took a little something off it. 56-47. It's a 9-point Hostos advantage, and we're getting late now. 6:58 to go, and the Tigers have to start doing things and doing things well. Alan Smith with it. Smith places it down low to Lawrence. He goes around his man. Inside for the basket and a foul. Now, once he got around Morrison, he used his body to fend him off, and Morrison committed the foul.
Why not go back to that? No, Joe, that's like one of my pet peeves with, some of the basketball that I see right now. You have a kid, he catches on the block, he does a good job, and then the kid doesn't see the ball for the next 6 minutes. It doesn't make any sense to me as a point guard.
You know what they call that?
What do you call that,
Selfish
Joe?
basketball.
Well, you know what?
56-50.
It doesn't win games.
No, it doesn't. And we talked last night when we were doing the telecast about stats. Here's underneath Charles Jackson for 2 more. Give him 15, and that causes a timeout to be called. And Hostos goes up by 8.
Joe, he's just like a cat around that rim, really
Sure
quick.
is.
It's like right up there, and it's on the glass.
And 58-50 Hostos. Go back to our point. Stats are one thing. Winning ball games is another thing. And, guys have good stats, but that don't mean they're an elite player. It means they're compiling great stats.
And that's very true, Joe. You think about winning basketball. You look at the Celtics. You look at the Lakers.
You look at Kobe Bryant.
You look at Dallas. And one of the things that they did well was they went to the player that was doing well. And even in the college ranks, when you look at the teams that constantly thrive, like the Kentuckys, like the Louisvilles, like the Villanovas and the UConns, they understand how to give the ball to the hot play. You saw Kimber Walker just put the team on their back. You see, like when you have a big man and there's a natural advantage, you go down to it and you exploit it until the defense proves they can stop it. But, you know, it seems like some of the kids now have this mentality. It's like, okay, it's my turn. I know you just hit 4 in a row, but, yo, I got to get the ball. And it doesn't make sense to me.
That has been cultivated.
Doesn't make any sense to me at all.
So somebody has to go in and do a little re-gardening and, you know, let them know that that's not going to do.
No. And, you know, even on the street, in you know, really good games, street basketball games, if a guy hits 2 or 3 shots in a row, the crowd demands for the guy to get the ball again.
That's right.
You know, so, you know, guys have to understand the rhythm of winning. Championship basketball is based upon guys who are putting the ball in the basket.
That's right. Here is Alan Smith coming across the midcourt line. 6:22 to go. Lawrence with it. Lawrence to the left of the lane, passes it out. Alan Smith fires from out there. No. And newcomer into the game for Queensborough got the rebound, but then gave it away. And Jackson.
From
60 to 50.
From Maverick.
And Maverick made a great pass. And here's Lawrence, and we have a foul as he got caught up in the air, but they actually bailed him out with the foul there. Didn't tie him up. And right now, Queensborough's down by 10. And, boy, did they need these free throws, first of all.
There's still a lot of time in the game, and they got some players on the bench. They got Tyler Jenkins, even though he has, you know, those fouls. I mean, it's 6 minutes. You got, you know, Aljubele on the bench, too, who played well. And you have Kamal Green, who played well. So, you know, maybe he can get these guys back in the game to give himself a chance.
Yeah, they really lost something with Aljubele. He was really playing tenaciously for his size. Here's Hostos backing it out with Brown. Then they go back in. Oh, boy, did that hit take place. And then the basket was registered by Anderson. Anderson has 6. And now, Sean, I think you'd have to admit this is immediately an emergency situation for the Tigers. It's 5:41 on the clock, and this could be a 13-point lead.
Yeah, Larry's over there right now thinking about the kid, you know, the players he has on the bench in foul trouble. Is this the right time to get him in? Down 12, 5:41 to go.
Anderson will go to the line. He got hit by Lawrence.
You know, in his defense, he has some guys that can knock the 3-ball down. And, you know, they even have their point guard, Taquan Washington, on the bench, who's, you know, a catalyst too. So this game is not over by any means.
No, it's not.
You know, Queensborough could, you know, turn it up, press. They've been sitting in the zone, got back with the zone. And Hostos had trouble with it, but now they solved it.
It's not over, although it's looking that way. And let's see if it changes in the next 5:41. Here is Anderson. No good on the free throw, delivering it. So it stays 62 to 50. Queensborough down by 12, 5:35 to go. Joe Massey and Sean Couch with you. And here are the Queensborough Tigers with it. To Lawrence. Lawrence left of the lane. Pass out to Birch. Birch goes into the left corner. Left hands it out. All the way out at the midcourt line for Alan Smith. Can't take a lot of time right now. Medard with it. Passes it down low. And they get inside. And traveling is going to be called. That's tough. That's tough right there. You used almost a minute on that clock, or just under. Comes in to Charles Jackson, excuse me. 5:07 to go, a 12-point lead for Hostos. They bring it across with Anderson. Now they want to use a little clock here with a 12-point lead until they find an opening, of course. And Charles Jackson, you know, you can't pass that up. There was just too much space. And Jackson went down there and popped it in. He has 19.
Yeah, right down the lane from the elbow. And Charles accelerates on the ground, Joe, and then pauses his body in the air and let the defender pass him, and just kisses it off the glass. It's a strong move.
Here's Jason Lawrence knocking it down. He's like poetry in motion. 64-52. Coming across is Brown. Brown to the right corner. 25 seconds to shoot. Hostos by 12 in the orange. Queensborough in the white. Double dribble. And then a pass off into the corner after change of direction, but they travel with the ball before Brown could set up over there. So a break for Queensborough. Queensborough stormed back, and they had this game on even terms in the second half. Now they've fallen behind by 12, and they have 4:14 to work with, and they got to make crisp passes. And they get up a quick shot off the crisp pass, and Alan Smith can't hit it. Crisp passes and make your shots. Maverick Hodge got rejected there by Lawrence coming in on the play, so it'll stay with Hostos, but another minute off that clock. We're now at 4:01. Jeremiah Brown is in there with Brian Morrison. Charles Jackson for Hostos. They have Gary Anderson and Maverick Hodge. Hodge handling the ball outside right now. 22 to shoot.
Queensborough has a chance in this game. Stephon Medard has to get hot along with Taquan Washington. Those two have to take charge.
All by his lonesome in the corner, and knocking it down is Gary Anderson. Three-point play for Anderson on the goal. 67 to 52. It is slip sliding away for Queensborough. Down here we have a foul though, as Taquan Washington brought it to the baseline. And that will put Taquan at the line. Needs to make these free throws, and then I would think, Sean, if he does, they come down press and they try to inch crawl their way back. Taquan's first, good. He's got 8. 14-point ball game. Hostos came out in second place. Let's set that up in community college ranks behind Bronx. And Queensborough came in third. Washington hits. That won't change much. 67-54. And all the way on a glide was Maverick Hodge. Couldn't get it to go. Then he got knocked down in the process, but the ball went off him, and it'll be Queensborough ball down by 13. 3:25 to go. They need to make something happen right now. They got a break. See if they can use it. Smith with it. Alan Smith to the middle of the circle. Gets a good look. He has Medard down low. Looking that way, but then dishes to Lawrence. Back out. Now they'll try to get it into Medard. It was kicked. So we get a new shot clock and 3:08 to go in the ball game. Well, actually going to keep the shot clock at 19. Stays same shot clock, 3:08 in the ball game. Lawrence in the corner, raises up. Morrison had it knocked away, and Lawrence chased it down, so it's still Queensborough ball, but we're now at 3 minutes. And they're still down by 13. Washington says, let's spread it wide. I'm going to go one-on-one. And that he does. And he doesn't make it.
That ain't it.
That's not the answer.
Not it right there. Too difficult a shot, 1-on-4. Guys, it's lane for him to come.
And they come back and they compound it with a bucket for Gary Anderson. And this one is almost in the book now for Hostos. They're leading at 69-54 with 2:32 to go. And this will be, no doubt, Queensborough's last chance to make a fury or a run at this if they can.
You know, the Tigers had a good game plan. They came out with pressure. They were going down low to Tyler Jenkins. And even when Stephon Medard was not hitting his shot, what they were doing was going down low. When Big Tyler went out, then it was Jason Lawrence who picked it up and did a nice job, Joe. But what's happening now is that they are depending on individual moves trying to get to the basket, and they're not big enough or strong enough to really finish over this team.
Now, trying to run in this conference.
Trying to run the spread offense. When you do spread, you know, good teams like Missouri and, you know, they have finishing technique. And if you look at pressing, look at the other guard that comes off the bench, they make good use of the backboard going to the rim in order to offset, you know, the bigger and taller players.
Well, Anthony Brown off that extended timeout couldn't hit the shot, and Hostos, that's a nice back pass from Morrison to Jackson.
And that's the technique I'm talking about right there, Joe. Woo. The left hand leaner off the glass kind of lean back on that one. And you know, Jackson has like some really exciting stuff with his game. He can lean, you know, he can hesitate, he can pause in the air, he can get over the rim. There's a lot of stuff going on with him, and he's explosive. So the Bronx has to watch out. What they did when they played the Bronx, they were very physical with Jackson, and he had trouble with that. I'm sure he'll make the adjustment come tournament time.
Jackson, according to what I have, check your stats on this. I think he has 22 now because he's had a late spurt here. 72-54. Here's Medard. This ball game is pretty much over, but Medard makes a couple of moves and tries to buy some time here for Queensborough, and he'll end up at the free throw line.
But at the same time, I don't think that this is Queensborough's best effort, Joe. I think this team has a lot more in them, and if they can get it together, they could be a significant threat to a team if they're if they're slept on.
I think you're right. That's why I said, first free throw good by Medard. They'll learn something from this, and what they'll learn coming down to its tournament time is what it's going to take to beat the top team in this conference. And Hostos isn't even the top team. So,
right.
You know, they're going to have to apply themselves a little more. Medard made both. And Medard has 13 points, 72-56. All right, Jackson's adding to his highlight reel right now. That's nice what he did, but the game is basically over, 74-56. A minute 43 to go. Jackson now has 24. And he did it in a big time, though. That's what he did. Comes around the perimeter for the Tigers. They work it with a minute 32 to go. Dish it out to Tycon Washington. Off the glass, no good. Medard is trying to step in there, and he got the foul call. Medard will go back to the line. So the men are going to lose this game. The ladies won their game, and it's a split of the doubleheader for the Tigers with Hostos. And we look for better things from Queensborough because they do have a lot of players, and they need to step it up to another level, and they certainly have the material to work with. Whether they do it or not, well, I'm sure Coach Danzler over there is hoping the same thing. He wants to see it get done.
You know, I was impressed with Ajubele and also with Kamal Green. I think those two, along with Tyler Jenkins, all
got in foul trouble. So they got in foul trouble, and that ultimately really hurt.
I think they can go very deep and get very physical against a team and surprise them.
Another bucket for Hostos on the drive, Gary Anderson. Now they're padding their totals is what they're doing because defense is a forgotten thing right now. 76-57, and we'll watch Anderson go to the line. He got fouled. That was Lawrence's fourth. Might have been his fifth. He's coming out of the game.
You know, you got to give a hand to Jody King, the first-year coach of Hostos.
You really do.
16-5, 4-2. You know, his preparation is flawless.
Who was the coach here? Team. Who was the coach here when Hamilton Lopez played? Beekman? Roy Beekman?
Roy Beekman.
He did a fine job.
Oh,
here.
yeah. Roy Beekman, Queens guy. Hell of a basketball player, Roy Beekman.
Everybody's been trying to match what Robert Holford did in this program, and it's come along. They're doing pretty well right now. Here's a drive into the lane. And Henry Birch took it into the lane and a whistle stop play. But then again, Sean, you take the job. You don't worry what Holford did. You want to, be successful. You got your own agenda, and you're going to implement it, and that is it. And there's no turning back after that.
Well, I think Jody is on the right path right here. He has his team running very good sets. He has Charles Jackson, who is a marquee player, along with Anderson, Brandon Stoltz. Recruiting-wise, when a recruit comes and watches his team plays, he sees everyone touches the
players,
ball.
Yeah.
And they do a nice job.
And teamwork is a part of that.
Right.
They really did meld together tonight as a team when the times called for it. Birch hits his second. So it's not just that we're saying, well, Jackson's this, he did that, he stuffed the ball. No, they played well as a team, and that's why they're winning this game.
Right. And
77-59 is the official. Gives me a hand here and picks up one of my totals.
And Joe, in Queensborough, you look at them, you see an improving team. You see some talent being amassed. and guys playing hard. They're still playing hard to the end right here, which is a credit to Larry Dancer.
Jackson tried a couple of moves, couldn't get it off glass. Here's Washington back, fires it in, 77-61. Queensborough playing it right down to the end. They're down by 16.
And, you know, you're looking at Queensborough definitely has some opportunities to play. Even though it's a young team, you know, there's the guy has some game. They can come in here and get the job done. So, you know, the conference is really looking good talent-wise.
Green chased that down, gets it outside. Three-pointer is off with 11 seconds to go. That's going to do it. So Hostos, 77-61, throws it up there on the lead from Hodge. They'll keep it alive, and then it's knocked out of bounds off the move by Brian Silvera. And they'll throw it in from underneath, and then the game will be over. Tigers losing it by 16 if they don't put it in here. Youssef has it. That'll do it.
Final score is
77-61. Not a total downer for Queensborough. They weren't blown out. Hostos just stuck to their guns, and they outdid them. And they outdid them by 16 points in very impressive fashion. Hostos is a tough team. They could very well meet Bronx in the final. And then again, as Sean stated and we stated, if Queensborough gets it together and learns from a loss like this, reassesses things, keeps a couple of their players out of foul trouble who had good nights, big men, you never know. We might see them in the final. It's that wide open as to who's going to play Bronx. But I think Hostos did make it apparent tonight that they're a better team than Queensborough.
No, absolutely. Gary Anderson impressed me, the point guard. He really controlled the tempo. And Jody King has them running some good offense. They're setting good screens. Their hands are up. They know where the cutters are. They understand their roles as an offensive team. So this was a good win for them. And also, Joe, you know, in Queensborough's defense, they lost each half by 8 points. So that's a margin where they can, you know, work with it. A pass here, a block shot here, you know, a better screen, a knockdown, and this game could have been different.
That's right. And you know what I just said? I'm going to fault myself. Who's going to play Bronx? Who knows if Bronx is going to be there?
You know what?
This is basketball. This is tournament time.
True.
You could get knocked right out of the ballpark with one loss.
You know what?
That's it.
I mean, I can't see the Bronx not making the finals this year with that team. I just can't see it.
You got to play the games, though.
No, you're right.
I talked to Ray Rankus, the veteran coach of Baruch, for so many years, and I come back after he's number one going into the senior tournament, and then City takes him off, and I say, Ray, it's got to hurt. Oh, it's terrible.
Right.
You know, you just don't expect that. You get blindsided.
Yeah.
So you got to play the games. But, you know, Bronx has the most to work with. Let's say that. Bronx, it looks like they cannot be beat. Now, whether somebody does that is another matter.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Joe Massey, Sean Couch, we'll get a look at it with you. And that tournament will be held here at the end of the year. We thank you for joining us. These games a lot of fun to bring you, and two good games tonight. That's more important. We had a lot of entertainment, and we'll see you back here on QPTV.